name's Miranda.
Hi, I'm George. How you doing?
Good, thanks. Hi, George. Good to meet you. Thank you for being here today.
All right.
Before we officially begin, I just have some information I would like to discuss with you. This pertains to your rights and responsibilities as you're going to be seeking services with our organization. I also want to just clarify the role that I play as well. So right now, I am a licensed chemical dependency professional through the state of Rhode Island. I have been in the substance abuse field for about 15 years, and the last 5 years here with the Guard. So I do have, some pretty good background experience behind me, and I'm also a social work student. Currently getting my master's in social work. However, that will not impact anything that we do together because that is a totally separate role that I play. Any questions about that?
No, not done.
Good. I also wanted to inform you just about some HIPAA and confidentiality rights that you have as well while you're seeking services here. Due to the federal guidelines of confidentiality, the 42 CFR, you do have the right to receive services in a confidential manner. So what that means really is, as a licensed chemical dependency professional, I am a mandated reporter. So while you do seek services in confidence or a confidential manner, I do have a duty to warn. So if there's any abuse, child abuse, elderly abuse going on, I do have a duty to warn and to report as I am a mandated reporter. So I do have to report those types of situations. The other types of situations that confidentiality may not apply to is if there's a direct threat to harm yourself or somebody else, because we always take safety first, of course. So again, it would be my duty to warn and to keep you safe, and others safe would be my first priority. The other thing you should know about the confidentiality law is that because you're a service member, the confidentiality laws do not apply to your senior chain of command. So again, what does this mean? That does not mean that I have the ability to have a free-for-all with your information. So I want to make that perfectly clear right now. Typically, we require a written consent or a written release of information due to these confidentiality laws in order for us to provide any information about even knowing who you are as a person to somebody who requests it. However, due to your obligations and your duty in being a military service member, I have a duty to report to your chain of command and to the JAG's office according to the UCMJ, because those are the regulations that you're bound to follow while being in uniform. So again, while I do report information, just very basic information, again, I want to make that perfectly clear that this is not something that, I can just call up and we can discuss, personal things that we talked about last week or something. This is all information directly related to your compliance, your attendance, any UA results, and whether or not you successfully complete the program.
Okay.
Any questions? I know I just threw a whole lot of information at you.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So I see here that you popped hot for marijuana on one of the unit drug tests.
Yeah.
The nanogram level, which basically is how much of the marijuana is registered in your system, on the report that I have here states that your level was 44 nanograms. So just to compare, it's not too high, but it's not, it's definitely enough to make you test positive. So just as a comparison, in order for the results to reflect positive on a test, you have to have a maximum of 12 nanograms. So yours was 44. So if you can kind of use that as your comparative guide. So tell me what happened.
Well, I really not too much. A bunch of us were hanging out, drinking and stuff like that. And next thing I know, there was a blunt going around, and I just took a couple hits, and I didn't think too much of it. And a couple of days later, I came with a UA, and I came up hot on it.
Okay. And I can definitely understand, the different temptations that are out there, and I understand the difficulty of trying to consistently think of your military obligations and adhering to more of that federal level of laws versus the civilian laws that, and the state level laws that, you know, a lot of your friends might have to adhere not being in the military. So while it's acceptable for them to use, I could definitely see how easy it would be to forget that I'm held to that higher standard for sure. And you know, today it's so easily accessible and obtainable in our society that, you know, I can definitely you know, understand how, again, that temptation can be overwhelming sometimes.
Yeah.
So you mentioned a little bit about being at the party. What made you go to the party? What was it? Just out of fun? What?
Yeah, it was just out of fun. We were getting ready to go, you know, to drill again. So we wanted to just, you know, kind of relax and have some, you know, have some fun. And, you know, then of course I needed extra money and stuff, you know, this time of the season with finances and.
Finances seem to be
A little bit, yeah, especially this time of the year. You know, I'm not getting the hours that I was getting. And, you know, when I came back from deployment, you know, the job that I did have, they basically gave it away from underneath me, and I'm not sure they could do that, but that kind of stressed me out even more.
Sure.
You know, so I guess that's where I'm at now.
Yeah, I absolutely, I appreciate the stress in the finance piece because that is a huge stressor. Tell me a little bit more about your employer. Where do you work at?
I work at Citizens Bank.
Okay.
And I've been, you know, going to school to try to be a loan officer and stuff like that. And I finally was working my way into that position. Then I got deployed. Then I had to go there. Then, after I spent almost 18 months there, I come back. And I found out they gave my position away. And, you know, they gave me like a desk job. And it wasn't what I wanted. You know, and I think it's just bullshit, actually. I mean, but
I can see you're very frustrated over that.
yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure. I mean, so at this point, I'm kind of stuck because I don't have a job, but I do. But it's not the job I had before I left.
And one that you don't appear happy in.
Right.
You're not satisfied.
Right. And now I got this hanging over my head now too with the military side. So.
Sure. And it must be really difficult doing something so brave and courageous and important, such as you know, having orders to go on a deployment, and then, you know, coming back and feeling very unappreciated, especially by somebody who, you know, you were working very hard to try to please.
Right. Yeah. Oh. I mean, that happens, I guess.
So I would like to work on this further with you, if that is okay. I would like to continue with weekly visits. We also have a lot of resources within the Guard, and you actually have specific protections, employment protections within the USERRA laws that actually might be beneficial for you. So I do maybe have a referral to our ESGR representative who can help you work with that employer, because it is not legal for them to give away or demote you based on a deployment.
Right. I didn't know if it was because of the length of time.
Sure. And that happens a lot. And sometimes employers may not understand. So sometimes it's a matter of, you know, getting that third party in to try to communicate with them. But as far as like the positive UA goes, of course, we do have to immediately address that. And so for your next appointment, I really would like to discuss that further and maybe conduct a more in-depth assessment addressing both the alcohol and the marijuana use.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your time today and for showing up, and I will see you next week.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.